Today I will be talking to you about communication disorders. According to the American Speech Language Hearing Association, a communication disorder is defined as an impairment in the ability to receive, send, process, and comprehend concepts or verbal, nonverbal, and graphic symbol systems. In the school year of 2005-06, 1.1 million children received special education services under the category of speech or language impairment. This is according to the Individuals with Disabilities Act and represents 19% of all students receiving this special education services, making speech or language impairments the second largest category after learning disabilities. Communication disorder may be evident in the process of hearing, language, and/or speech. A hearing disorder is classified according to difficulties in detection, recognition, and perception of auditory information as the result of impaired auditory sensitivity. Examples being deafness or hard of hearing. Language disorders refer to impaired comprehension and/or use of spoken, written, and/or other symbol systems, whereas speech disorders refer to an impairment of the articulation of speech sounds, fluency, and voice. Today we will be focusing on the speech aspect of communication disorders. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act defines speech or language impairment as a communication disorder such as stuttering, impaired articulation, a language impairment, or a voice impairment that adversely affects a child's educational performance. It is always important to keep the speaker's age, education, and cultural background in mind when determining whether speech is impaired. A 4-year-old girl who says, "Please weed the woo," would not be considered to have a speech impairment, but a 40-year-old woman would surely draw attention to herself as the speech differs from the speech of most adults. Conversely, an individual showing signs of response to physical cues such as clapping may have auditory difficulty and may only be picking up on physical cues. Speech disorders can be broken down into 3 different categories: articulation, fluency, and voice disorders. Articulation disorder is the unorthodox production of speech sounds characterized by substitutions, omissions, additions, or distort, such as "ya me ya da window" instead of "let me look out the window." Fluency disorder is an interruption in the flow of speaking characterized by unusual rate, rhythm, and repetitions in sounds, syllables, words, and phrases. This may be accompanied by excessive tension, struggle behavior, and secondary mannerisms. Examples being stuttering and/or cluttering of words. Voice disorder is characterized by the abnormal production of vocal quality, pitch, loudness, resonance, or duration which is inappropriate for an individual's age or sex. Phonation, disorders such as hoarseness or straining, along with resonance quality, nasality or denasality, are most common in adults than children. A speech or language impairment may be organic, that is, attributable to damage, dysfunction, or malformation of a specific organ or part of the body. However, most communication disorders are not considered organic, but are classified as functional, which cannot be ascribed to a specific physical condition, and its origin is not clearly known as there could be environmental influences. Examples of physical factors that frequently result in speech impairments are cleft palate, paralysis of the speech muscles, absence of teeth, craniofacial abnormalities, enlarged adenoids, and traumatic brain injury. Dysarthria is a motor speech disorder resulting from impaired movement of the muscles used for speech production, including the lips, tongue, vocal folds, and diaphragm. It is caused by damage to the brain which may occur at birth, as in cerebral palsy or muscular dystrophy, or may occur later in life due to conditions involving the nervous systems. Some signs or symptoms of dysarthria are slurred, choppy, or mumbled speech that may be difficult to understand, slow rate of speech, rapid rate of speech with a mumbling quality, limited tongue, lip, and jaw movement, abnormal pitch and rhythm when speaking, and changes in voice quality such as hoarse or breathy voice, or speech that sounds nasal or stuffy. In terms of educational approach suggestions for teachers, treatment is primarily administered by a speech pathologist, also known as a speech clinician or speech teacher, who will engage the individual in a variety of exercises to help improve pronunciation and voice inflection. One of the key goals is to slow down the rate of speech in order to be better understood. While a speech pathologist is one approach to assist communication skills, other strategies involve augmentative and alternative communication. This involves three components where a symbol set or vocabulary is used with a means for selecting the symbols and a means for transmitting the symbols for an individual. Discrimination activities such as repeating the t in take or the k in cake are designed to improve the child's ability to listen carefully and detect the differences between similar sounds. Pacing speech may be practiced with the aid of a metronome, which cues the individual to pronounce one syllable at a time in sync with the instrument's ticking noise. Providing a good speech model where simple vocabulary and grammatical forms are exemplified and creating a good speech environment can definitely improve the child's self-esteem, which in turn may help overcome mental blocks in their speaking habits. Educational placement alternatives for those with communication disorders involve being monitored by a speech-language pathologist, a pull-out option where the child may be seen individually or in small groups of up to 3 children, collaborative consultation where specialists serve as consultants for regular and special education teachers, separate classrooms, and combinations of these aforementioned models. In terms of educational books, one book in particular being The Social Skills Picture Book by psychologist Dr. Jed Baker is a picture book filled with clear images linking communication of emotions in a visual manner. Another good book called My Book Full of Feelings by Amy Jaffe and Lucy Gardner offer an interactive way of addressing emotions and communication. For those who frequent online, I encourage you to visit the American Speech Language Hearing Association and the Ontario Association for Families of Children with Communication Disorders. These links will be posted below, as with several others, including a PDF that teachers will find useful in this topic. This is my Pecha Kucha on communication disorders, and thank you for watching.